be asked. I want to be asked Renee Moore. I want to be a weed. I want to be a weed. Renee Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters. When I was a freshman in high school, my mother realized her lifelong dream of owning her first home. That same year, she realized her lifelong nightmare of having a yard with that home. Every Saturday, we would go out and mow the lawn, and by Tuesday, there would be all these little weeds poking up through the grass. My mother got very frustrated with this, and she went to what was then Heckinger's, and she bought vegetation killer. I don't know if you know this, but vegetation killer kills everything except weeds. My mother declared war, and she went back to Heckinger, and she bought black ground cover and white limestone rocks, and she put it out over the entire yard. And it worked for about 2 weeks, but within those couple of weeks, we had weeds growing up through that black ground cover and those white limestone rocks. My mother finally just surrendered. She said, I give up, they win. But I looked at the weeds a little differently. They didn't frustrate me quite the same way. In fact, tonight I want to tell you about 3 lessons that I learned about weeds from that experience that have helped me in life. One afternoon, I came home from school, and I was in the kitchen making a snack. A boy from down the street came over and asked if I could come outside and play, and I said, no, I have homework to do. And back in the day, you could leave your door open, and I shouldn't have done that this time. I walked back into the kitchen and realized that he had followed me into the house. And to make a long story short, he ended up attacking me and violently raping me right there in the home. I remember as he had his hands around my throat and choking me, I moved back and I stumbled and I hit my head on the stairs. And I thought, I cannot let this situation define me for the rest of my life. So I mustered up enough strength to knee him in the groin. I took my thumbs and poked him in his eyes and he ran out. We called the police, filed a report, and went through counseling, and with the help and love and support of my family and friends, I was able to go on and live what I think was a pretty normal teenage life. I graduated in the top 5% of my class and I went on to college. The reason though I believe I was able to endure that and get past it is because of the first lesson I learned about weeds. And that is, just because you've been mowed down doesn't mean that you can't grow back. You ever been in your yard and you mow weeds and you haven't actually pulled them up from the roots? You know that that weed is actually just being pruned. It's going to come back stronger. There are times in our lives when there are things that look like they're supposed to mow us down and destroy us. It could be the betrayal of a friend, a divorce, the loss of a job. But those things are actually designed to prune you and make you stronger. I went on to college and I majored in chemistry. I had a full scholarship and a fellowship. But I got deterred by a guy. This guy was just a little bit older than me, like 18 years or so. He was from another country, he spoke a different language. I mean, it was like a really good match. We got married, and all of my friends kept saying, Renee, you know he's only marrying me for a green card, right? No, he loves me. I don't know what you all talking about. Of course, after he got his green card, he left. Well, I thought the problem was that he was from another country and older. I needed to marry somebody American, my age, so I did. 5 months after we got married, I got pregnant. 6 months after I had the baby, he left. So here I was, 21 years old. I've been married twice, I've been divorced twice, and now I was a single mother. This was not the plan. So I knew that I had to do something different. I knew that if I couldn't figure out what to do and make a different plan, I would never be able to take care of me and my daughter. So I had a new plan, and this was my new plan. Every morning I get up at 5 o'clock and I drop off my daughter at my grandmother's house by 7. I go to my first classes at school. I leave and go to my first job. I left there at 4. I went to my evening classes. I left there, went to my second job, left there at 10, picked up my daughter, cooked dinner, did homework, and I did that all over again every day for 2 years. And it was worth it. Because at the end, I ended up graduating with honors with my degree in chemistry, with my daughter walking with me across the stage to get my Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry. And the reason I believe I was able to do that is because of the second lesson I learned from weeds, and that is sometimes you have to grow through the cracks in the concrete. Have you ever been walking along and seen weeds that are literally bursting through concrete? That shouldn't be happening, should it? I mean, concrete is pretty tough, it's pretty strong. But somehow, weeds are obviously stronger because they are breaking the concrete apart. How many times in life have you had something hard in concrete life going on in your life? Could have been an accident, again, the loss of a job. You're not supposed to allow those things to hold you down. You're supposed to be able to break through it and come out stronger and flourish. After college, I took a job with a company in Houston. And I was working as a marketing consultant, and I loved this job. I had no plan B. I was planning to retire from there. But they had different plans. Last April, they flew me to Houston and told me that they were eliminating my position, and then flew me home. On the ride home, I thought, what am I going to do? I didn't think about what I was going to do next. I love this place. But I was thinking, you know, I have to get my own clients anyway. I could just do this on my own. I had no idea what that meant, but I decided to start my own business, much more marketing. I work with pharmacists and holistic healthcare practitioners who love what they do, but they don't love the marketing. And the reason I believe I was able to make the leap from employee to entrepreneur is because of the third lesson I learned from weeds, and that is sometimes you have to grow in a different place. Have you ever gotten out of your car like I do and yanked up a fistful of weeds and tossed it somewhere to see those weeds growing up in that new place? Sometimes weeds are never deterred by the fact that you're trying to get rid of them. They just decide, I'll just grow over here. She doesn't want me there, that's fine. I'll grow here. But in our lives, sometimes we get so flat-footed. We get so stubborn about staying someplace where we're not happy, we're not good at what we're doing, but we want to be right there. Instead of allowing someone to pluck us and move us into a different location so that we can really grow, where our talents can really shine and where we can really thrive. Weeds are pesky. They're annoying, I give you that. But the next time you see one, I want you to look at it and see that it's tenacious, it's tough, and it's resilient. And I don't know about you, but at the end of the day, I want to be a weed.
Sounds